Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the second Seattle long coffee break series. We appreciate all your participation and your time this morning. This morning's presentation is going to be on the Lenel S2 global deployment throughout the ecosystem. We at Long value Lenel S2 support. They bring a lot of expertise to the table, and we appreciate the partnership they've been over the last several years. We've been with S2 from the beginning and now Lenel S2. Again, they bring a lot of expertise, and this morning we're happy to have Bill Ryan, who is the Regional Sales Manager for the Pacific Northwest region of Lenel S2. And we'll let Bill go ahead and get started. If you have questions, if you could use the chat window during the presentation, that would be great. And we'll save a couple minutes at the end of the presentation to answer those questions. So Bill, you want to take it away?
Fantastic. Thanks, Neil. I'm super happy to be a part of this, this coffee break series. So I hope we'll be able to bring some really updated and great information to all you customers out there on the Netbox ecosystem. And more specifically today, we're going to focus on this chat session on the global solution and the global updates. So I'm going to real quickly modify my screen here and get to my slides. Hopefully everybody can see my screen okay, yes?
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you. So today we're going to focus on the global appliance. And for those of you that are already using global, this term is probably pretty familiar to you in how we discuss the ecosystem of the Netbox. But for those of you that are not familiar with global, I'll give you a quick history. The global appliance is an appliance that we created that takes multiple Netbox controllers and it aggregates all of the information from multiple systems and provides you with one user interface. Now, we've had the global appliance for a number of years out there. And of course, as technology continues to change, we have to continue to change our software as well. So in previous versions of the global appliance, we actually used Silverlight. And some of you may be familiar with that from the older Netbox appliances. And we have slowly phased that out of all of the Netbox ecosystem with the exception of the global. So this is a big update for us. And what you're going to find with the global appliance is that it's still going to stay in place. And so it will continue to be in place for synchronization of all that data. But we are going to completely redo the user interface on this and have Silverlight completely removed. So when we do that, this is scheduled for a first or second quarter of 2021. And as many of you probably know, Silverlight will no longer be supported as of October of 2021. So we're stepping this phase up pretty quickly so we can get this new UI out and get everything updated with the global. And then basically the Magic Monitor is now going to be the main UI for monitoring with global as we move into that phase. So with the Netbox, you're not going to see any major changes with the Netbox when it comes to global. Basically, they're still going to communicate to the global appliance. The global appliance will still aggregate all that information together. But there's going to be some back-end improvements that we're going to do, mostly with person pages, and those will also be shared with Magic Monitor. So you're going to see this really unified look of not only the global solution, your Netbox ecosystem, everything tied in with Magic Monitor. And I think you're going to find that that complete solution there is going to make things a lot easier for navigation. It'll make things a lot easier to manage those multiple systems that are deployed out there today.
So Bill, can you take a second to explain what exactly is the Magic Monitor and what is the intent of the Magic Monitor in the Netbox ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Neil. So on my next slide, you're going to see a little screenshot of Magic Monitor. So Magic Monitor is a piece of software that we created several years ago, and it was full purpose is to completely unify all Netbox ecosystems. So as we came out with the first couple of releases, it was primarily just access control and some video with a little bit of information in there. But now today, it's a full-blown digital signage, mass notification, event notification. You can monitor your systems. It has global mapping on there. We also have some really fun widgets that include things like weather, traffic. You can do dynamic cells and what we call dynamic cell overlays. So you can drop your cameras and your card readers right onto a map and navigate through your building that way. So having this brought into global, and with the new Magic Monitor update that we're also going to do, it's going to include now a global widget, if you will, that is basically what we call GSOC, or a Global Security Operations Center software. So this view is going to let you bring in all of your devices from all of your systems into a single GSOC view or widget, if you will, through Magic Monitor. So this includes the person pages, adding and removing of people, modifying access levels. This would include handling alarms. So alarm monitoring can be handled. You can acknowledge alarms. You can track events, as well as send messages back and forth through Magic Monitor to other applications. So we've created a really unique way of bringing everything together in one screen, if you will, a single pane of glass for a completely unified solution. So with this new update for global, that will now also include not only the global controller, the Netbox ecosystem, Magic Monitor, the whole package. So Magic Monitor is really something that everybody should start getting familiar with, just because it is a core piece of our software today. And it will be moving forward the primary monitoring point for all systems, including the global, with the GSOC widget in it. Did that answer your question pretty well, Neil?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you.
Fantastic. So again, as I said, with Magic Monitor, it will include the person search and administration. We're going to adjust that to better, to better align with what we currently use in global. And so I think the process of migrating over from the traditional global views that people are using today into Magic Monitor will actually be much more helpful in how they manage those multiple systems.
Hey, and Bill, adding on to that, would there be any associated costs with that change to the?
So these are going to be basic updates. So like anything else with our software and our solution, if a customer is currently using multiple Netbox systems with a global, they're going to want to make sure their software support is current, because as long as software support is current, these upgrades are no cost from us. There's obviously some labor involved because you want to make sure the upgrades get done appropriately. But essentially, it's just updating the box and the firmware on the global controller and the Netbox ecosystem. Now, Magic Monitor is a little bit different. Magic Monitor is a free piece of software. We don't charge for the basic version. The basic version of Magic Monitor will support up to 128 camera streams when it's being used with an integrated VMS product. So when you have Magic Monitor with 128 cameras or less, that's a completely free piece of software and a free client. If you're using more than 128 cameras and you want to integrate the whole system, there is a one-time fee with Magic Monitor. There are no annual software supports for Magic Monitor. It's all included in your normal SUSP. So you can have as many Magic Monitor clients out there as you want attached to your system, looking at different solutions or different schools or different buildings or different offices. They can be completely separated from each other, but you can also share information between Magic Monitors. So it's a really unique piece of software. So that of course would be that one-time fee, no annual software support, and it's called Magic Monitor Pro.
Great,
okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So the biggest question on this is timeline. How are we going to do this? A lot of people are concerned about the Silverlight expiring in October of 2021. We are fast tracking our development. This has been the process for a while now. So we're trying to get our beta test completed prior to 2021. And then in first quarter, it's going to go into final general availability. So we should expect to start seeing these updates within the portal by early first quarter, potentially late first quarter, as it's slated right now. But these are going to be ongoing releases that we're going to be doing. The biggest one is just getting rid of Silverlight. And we're going to continue to do more updates. I think you're going to see a lot coming out of the Netbox ecosystem over the next year or so. I've seen the roadmap, and there's just a tremendous amount of functionality and new features that are coming, not only to Magic Monitor, to the global GSOC, and ultimately to our customers. We want to try and make sure that we have the best technology out in the industry today. And our company has just done a fantastic job trying to keep up with that and keep up with all the changes, because it does change quick. So it's been a blast to be a part of this, and also to see how much this product has evolved over the years. And again, I just want to thank Long, because Long has been a great partner for us in doing this. So hats off to you guys, and thanks for having me be a part of this meeting. I don't want to take up a whole lot more time, but I know we've got some minutes going on here. Neil, do you have a couple of specific questions or anything that's coming up in chat at all?
So yes, Bill. So one would be how does the how is the, as you do these changes, as the S2 Global, we make the changes to the Magic Monitor and so forth, how is that beta tested? How is that vetted out on your side? So when we do deploy into the customer's network, their ecosystem, that it's seamless as possible.
Yeah, and again, these are great questions. We have a very specific cybersecurity approach to all of our products. There's a great new white paper that we've released about cybersecurity practices in the Netbox ecosystem. And this filters down to all of our appliances, whether it's the Netbox, the global solution, our mobile apps like Mobile Security User, Mobile Security Professional. I believe we'll be doing some later coffee break series with those as well. But again, the cybersecurity practices that we take in the process of early development through engineering phases, and then also in deployment, our systems are fully tested and vetted across multiple different networks prior to release. And so we go through a pretty rigorous testing before these updates and upgrades are even published. So customers can feel rest assured that when we post those upgrades for that system, we're gonna expose any potential issues that they need to be concerned with, like matching firmware versions on Netbox appliances, and again with the global appliance and hardware devices that are out there. We want to make sure that we have all that information documented when we do that release.
Another question that's come in is, will these release, as they're released, will they be able to be installed by certified S2 dealers, or will we, the dealers, need S2 technical support for the updates?
That's the great thing about the Netbox ecosystem, Neil, is that with Netbox ecosystem, these files, a single file upgrade upgrades the entire solution. So it makes it very easy to deploy when you do those updates. The actual firmware upgrades that we do includes everything. Unlike a lot of other systems out there that have different SQL databases, and they have different client licenses, and they have different server licenses that have to be matched on specific server types. As an embedded appliance, both global and the Netbox ecosystem are embedded solutions onto a Linux hardware application operating system. So essentially, when we're doing that file upgrade, that one upgrade upgrades every part of the system. It upgrades the Postgres SQL, it upgrades the web browser UI, it upgrades the operating system itself for the Netbox, and any update files that are available. And so with that one file update, it makes it very easy for the technicians to be out in the field and do those upgrades on their own. However, we're always available. Our applications engineering and post-sales support are always available to help your techs out in the field. And again, with a lot of customers that want to self-maintain, we do have some options for them as well, if that's something that they want to discuss with Long. But again, this is just it's a great platform, and we try to make those upgrades as easy as possible and as painless as possible.
And to that end, will any of the legacy devices out there be at risk of not being compliant with the new path forward?
Yeah, so again, great question. So the only thing that we want to make sure is that the firmware on the Netbox that as you're doing, especially the global update, that the firmware meets the minimum requirements. So it's not required that customers always do their firmware updates, but we strongly recommend it, because it's not just the software or the operating system itself for Netbox. There's a lot of features that we continue to put in this product. And if you're not doing those updates on a regular basis, you're going to miss out on some really nice features. But in addition to that, it's the cybersecurity policies that go with the Linux side of Ubuntu. These are devices that are sitting on the customer's network, and you want to make sure that you're always up to date with the latest cybersecurity security policies that are out there. And that's our responsibility as a manufacturer, is to make sure that we are always publishing the latest and greatest when it comes to those cybersecurity policies in our platform. So with your software support, we do about 3 of those a year. You're more than welcome to get those updates and have those updates done on a regular basis. But it also helps us down the road that if there is an issue with your platform, that our tech support knows you're on a current version, that it's supported, and we know best how to support you and help through that, whatever issue that might be.
Great. Okay, well, Bill, there are more questions, but we are out of time. So I appreciate everybody's participation this morning, and please join us next week for our truly open control systems coffee break. Bill, again, we appreciate your time today. And if anybody has additional questions, we just briefly touched on the topic, please contact your local Long representative, and we'd be glad. We need Bill's, Bill can join, but contact us directly at Long, and we'd be glad to help you. Thank you again, everyone, for your participation.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.